Hello and welcome to the Tesla Model 3 Highland. Today we are going to go through the entire car, the exterior, the interior and everything that's on the screen. You'll also see some modifications I've done already. The main focus of this car is to show you everything with the Model 3 Highland. This specific model is the Model 3 Highland rear wheel drive with the beautiful ultra red color and white interior. We always start from the rear. And here we can see the new beautiful taillights that are on the new Tesla Model 3 Highland. And these are no longer split, so there is just one unit, which is the taillight right now. This makes it less prone to water intrusion, in my opinion, but we have yet to see that. Anyways, we now have a text logo on the rear, Tesla, instead of just a T. I think this looks much better. And we have a camera under here like we have always had on these Model 3s. There is also a new diffuser. This body panel spoiler has been increased a little bit in size. Aside from that, there are not much difference on the rear. But let's take a look inside. So we open by pressing the button here, or you go in the app, or you press on the screen. So there are three options to open the rear. And you can see the normal typical sedan opening here. On the rear trunk lid there is now a felt material on the entire rear trunk lid. And this helps tremendously with noise isolation. And this is very nice to see. This wasn't on the earlier Tesla Model 3s, so this is a new change that Tesla have incremented. We also see this same felt material here in the loading area. And when you have this material in the loading area, you are less prone to scratches, which you will get immediately if you use hard plastics, which were before. So this is very nice to see. Another difference from the earlier Model 3 is the struts. There are now two powered struts instead of just one. So the opening and closing is super solid compared to before. So that's very, very nice to see. You can also notice the good paintwork here compared to earlier Tesla Model 3s, where they would miss certain areas, etc. Depending on the market, you get different things with your Tesla. In my market, if you order a tow hook, you will get this separately. So this is a removable piece for towing, which is very nice to see. So that's included in the trunk. So for Norwegian or Europeans, if you get the tow package, you will get this one. So check that you have this one on delivery, of course. You also get a first aid kit and emergency kit, which is actually mandatory to have in the car in the European Union. And here you have a high-vis vest, which is very important if you get a breakdown along the highway. Anyways, you have a jack and some other first aid stuff here. In addition, you get a Type 2 charging cable, but I don't have it in this car right now, but it's just a standard Type 2 charging cable for home charging or charging at public slow chargers. For DC fast charging, you will always use the cable that's on the charger itself. This area had a subwoofer before, but it's no longer placed here. I'll show you where it's placed if you have the subwoofer. But this is now a storage area, and it's the same size on the other side. So it actually increases the storage area over the previous Tesla Model 3 by having these places to put things. And just to show you, you can fit quite a few things in these small pockets. So you actually increase the trunk space quite a bit. You can even have the tow hook, entire case inside there if you want. And it's the same on the other side of the trunk. We also have a sub-frunk. And since I use these Joa mats, I'm able to access it even though I have an all-weather floor mat on top. Check the link in the description to see what kind of offers Joa has. Anyways, Inside here you have a ton of space. More than any other car, really. It's the same for the Tesla Model Y as well. I have a Jowa all-weather floor mat inside here, but if you remove it, you will get an indication of how much space there really is down here. It's so much space. You simply close the rear trunk by pressing this button, and it has a new sound over the older Tesla Model 3. Charge port. Super easy to open in Teslas, very nice to see, and they are automatic. This one has the CCS2 port, but your local market will define which type of charge port you have, of course. The charge port also closes by itself, so you don't need to do anything. And there is a LED indicator right here. White for ready, blue for communicating, red for fault, and green for charging. We still have these door handles, which I think are perfect. They work very nicely for one hand, and they are cheap and reliable. There are almost no problems with these door handles compared to the older Tesla Model S and X, which had different door handles. Actually, Tesla has 3 different door handle designs. Anyways, to open, it's very easy. You just grab this piece, that will pop out the door, and then you grab the handle to pull it outwards. If you don't want to do that, you can just press once and then use this to open the door. Very, very easy. I am 176, by the way, and this is my seat in my seating position. So you can see that there are, of course, let's turn off the HVAC with the rear screen. I'll show you very soon. Anyways, you can see that I sit here perfectly fine. But of course this is a medium-sized sedan, so you can't expect the best legroom. But I think from all the cars I've tested, this is class leading in the mid-sized sedan segment in terms of legroom. It feels absolutely fine, okay, and it is a nice car. Keep in mind that I like to have the seat in the bottom position and pretty far away from the steering wheel. Because yeah, I like to have the steering wheel adjusted towards me. I like to sit back in the car, so this one is a little further back than many people like, even though they have the same height as me. So it feels okay to sit back here, and yeah, headroom is very good due to the glass roof, so I don't think the headroom will be a worry for most people. But yeah, I'm getting a little bit close to the side here and the glass itself. So if you are taller than 176, which many people are, of course, then you might be closer to the glass roof, really. But shouldn't be a real problem for most people. The seats are super comfortable, much better than before, and they feel very similar to the ones in front, with a little bit less side bolstering. These seats are sadly not ventilated, just the front seats, but that's fine for this super affordable EV. As a rear passenger, you don't have much controls here. You have the door unlock. You have the emergency release inside the door pocket here. It is difficult to get to, and you need to learn it if you want maximum safety. This is the window switch, of course. It works like a completely normal window switch. You have leather-like material, fake leather material on the entire door card. And I mean the entire door card. This is fake leather, this is fake leather, this is fake leather, and this is fake leather. There is no hard plastics. This one is the only part that's hard plastics. But this one is kind of like a matte and premium feeling as well, the buttons. So, to be honest, they have increased the quality of the car by tenfold by just having fake leather and everywhere instead of the fake plastics. You might have seen this LED strip. I'll talk about that later once we get to the front section, because that's where you control it. But this LED strip moves all the way to the front. While I am here, I can't stop thinking about the Tesla referral program. It is so cool that Tesla does this to incentivize sales via family or friends, and this makes the car cheaper for everyone, and I'll also get a credit if you use my link. But I just want to reiterate that you should use your family or friends' links first before you use mine. But I have linked mine down below, so if you want to support the channel and help me out, you can use my link to get $1,000 or 1,000 euros or 11,500 Norwegian kroners, depending on your market, of course, off your Tesla purchase. And it doesn't cost you anything to use a link. So please use a link. And if you use mine, thank you so much for using my link. It'll give me 5,000 Norwegian kroners, which is around 500 US dollars in Tesla credit, which I can use for equipment to this car, equipment to the BYD Rebel Drive Model Y, for example, and stuff like that, which I'll implement into videos to show you how it works. Thank you so much. Immediately when I get seated in the rear seat, this screen will turn on and give me a few options. So I'll go through these options right now. Of course, there is automatic climate if the front climate is activated. It is not now, and then the climate will activate automatically. So you can activate it by pressing here. It'll activate in the front as well. You can't just run rear climate. I'll turn it off here for now, and it will continue in the front. So I need to turn off in the front as well. With the climate, you can move them around and aim it exactly where you want. And the air comes from under here. You can move this seat. Then you can get a ton of space back here, which is super nice. You have music. So you can change the music in the front. You have different media stuff like Netflix, YouTube, Twitch and Tesla tutorials, and you have games. And this screen is super snappy, just like the front screen, which we'll get to soon. Yeah, and we have settings, so you can clean the screen and you can add Bluetooth devices, so you can listen to a different track back here compared to the front. And screen brightness is synchronized with the front screen right now, and you can adjust the volume back here as well. This seat is heated, and the seat I'm sitting in now is heated, but the middle seat is no longer heated. This was the case before. You can also see the new side impact system here on the door card and door itself. So this piece goes into this piece and catches the door and makes the passenger safer. And this is present on all 4 doors of this car. Inside you also have a giant glass roof that's all the way to the front with 2 separators. So we have 1 separator here and you have 1 separator in the middle. The Model Y doesn't have this separator, so that's the difference. You can also see a new speaker here. And the rear passengers also have these new lights that are capacitive. Here is the screen. What do you do? Well, Tesla has updated the formula a little bit, because you now have a large view of the car here. And you can drag around and see the entire car, and you can see which doors are open and stuff like that. For example, if I open the door here, it'll open on the screen immediately. Or if I turn the wheels, you can see that the wheels turn. So this is a live view of the car itself, and you can see the charge port and the rear trunk and stuff like that. You can also open the frunk and the trunk. You can lock the car and you can open the charge port from this screen. what else do we have on this main screen? Well, we have a map up here. You can see it is a little bit invisible now. Before it was like half the screen. But if you swipe here, you'll get the map. And this is how the old screen used to look. So that's the difference. The map is up in the corner. If you don't like to swipe, you can just press and it'll do the same thing. So, what's important in an EV? Well, it's route planning. So, let's go to Oslo first. That's our usual test. We go one to Oslo and then we go to the North Cape. Okay, so it used a few seconds and shows us that we need to charge here for 30 minutes at Maurset, and that's a good supercharger. And it'll automatically go to the last selected view for you, by the way. So it'll go here. You don't need to do anything other than the plot in your destination. But I want to see the entire route. So it gives us a good route to Oslo. That's nice. Let's try the North Cape. The North Cape is far north in Norway, of course. And it'll give us all the charging stops, like you can see here. 25 minutes, and of course it'll show you the directions first and then the next charging stops here, so you have the relevant information at the top, but it'll show you charging stops after that. So you have yeah, quite a few different charging stops. Some are actually up to 55 minutes. That's because there are a large distance between the chargers. Likely you won't need to do this in 55 minutes if you are a little bit smart with how you charge. Anyways, some are as short as 15 minutes. So this is very nice to see, good route planner, and that's how it works really. So you can add stops if you want to like go via Finland, for example. You can add that here. You can also edit the trip if you have multiple points. We don't, but you can. And we also have navigation settings, but I'll get back to navigation settings later because you can find those another place as well. So, how do you put the car in drive? That's important, I would say. So, my seatbelt is not fastened, like you can see here. It says fasten seatbelt. This area is the driving area. So this will show you what you need to do to drive, and it'll show you which gear you are in and such. So I'll fasten the seatbelt like it says, and it says tap to activate drive. So now I'm tapping the brake pedal and it's automatically in drive. And that's because I have auto gear enabled. And auto gear will try to guess if you want to go to drive or reverse. But if you don't agree with the auto gear, like it chooses the wrong gear and tries to send you into a building, well, you can always gear yourself here. There's also backup gear switches. I'll show those later. So that's gear. And in an electric car, that's drive, reverse, and neutral. I'll show you neutral later. Anyways, let's go through the settings. When you press this button, this is main settings, the little car in the lower left corner. Here you can see light settings. You can see fold mirrors, child lock, window lock, glow box. I'll show glow box later. Mirrors, adjustment, so you can adjust the mirrors with your steering wheel. I'll also show that. And different adjustments. On here is the neutral. So if you hold this one, you will go into neutral. Car wash mode, very important, because it'll not let the car open all the different charging flaps and stuff when you are washing the car. So that's a great addition, the car wash. And it's now here in the controls display. And the controls display is really just all the settings condensed into one page with the most important ones. So this is where you will spend the most time at the controls. Auto high beams on, auto high beams off. Auto high beams on, auto high beams off. Very easy, so lights are at the top here. Okay, we will move further to dynamics. So you can choose in this car, this is a rear wheel drive Model 3. If you have the performance, you have more options here. But Yeah, we don't, so we have two options, and then chill and standard for acceleration. Standard is the fastest one, chill is the slower one at the pedal. For this car, which is the rear-wheel drive, it's not the fastest Tesla by any means. I'll just keep it in standard, but if you want it even slower, you can go to chill. And that's the pedal response. So it's tuned down if you go into chill. Steering weight, light, standard, heavy. This is very different from before. I would say that light is a new option, standard is a new option. It is much lighter than before. It's very easy to turn the steering wheel now compared to before. And heavy is more like the lightest option on the earlier Tesla Model 3. So if you want more comfort in the steering, you can choose light. I do this for cruising and this for curvy roads and fun. And standard I never use almost. Auto shift, I talked about auto shift already. It is enabled here under dynamics and it's not enabled by default. So you need to go in and enable this if you want it. Slip start, this is if you're stuck and you want to let the wheel spin to regain grip, you can use slip start. This also makes the car very, very tail happy, especially the rear wheel drive one, but also the all wheel drive one. It is very fun to use in safe environments. So anyways, it is very useful if you get stuck. Trailer mode, I have a tow hitch, and trailer mode basically restricts driver assistance like it says here and disables the rear parking sensors, or the rear parking camera in this sense, because this car doesn't have sensors. Let's move on to charging. Charging, here you can set a charging limit. Charging limit for this car I'll keep at 100% because it needs to be charged to 100% to calibrate it from time to time. If you choose a long range or performance, you will have a recommended 80% daily limit here instead of 100. But if you are going to long-term storage car, set the charge limit to 50 and have it plugged in. That's the best you can do with this Tesla. So long-term storage, daily driving, and 100% once a week if you have the LFP battery. If you have the normal long range or performance, just always keep it at 80, and the rare times you need to go on a long trip, keep it at 100%, but make sure to drive immediately. That's the least stressful for the battery. You can open the charge port and you can set the amperage for home charging here. You can also set the schedule. It'll jump down to the schedule menu here. Remember, we were at the charging menu. Schedule, it'll just open this schedule menu. So I'll show that later. Okay, we go to Autopilot. Enable auto steer. Every Tesla delivered today is able to have Autopilot, and that's auto steer, which is currently still a beta features. This is basically lane holding with adaptive cruise control. So it'll hold the lane for you. Double click to activate Autopilot. Single click is kind of useless for me because that disables the option to just have adaptive cruise control. Sometimes I want just adaptive cruise control. But this is up to you. I recommend having it on a double click, and I'll show you where you need to click later. It is on the steering wheel. Set speed. I like to have it at the current speed. You can set it so it enables at the speed limit. Current speed is the best for me, but this is basically the same as other cruise control systems. Forward, and you can set the offset. If you choose speed limit here, you can set the offset. So enable at 10% over the speed limit, for example. Forward collision warning, I have it at medium. Lane departure, avoidance, and obstacle aware acceleration. This will actually slow the accelerator response if it detects something before you. And this has, and you can notice it, if some people are moving close to the road, etc., you will get a slower pedal response. I kinda like this feature and kinda not, but it's kind of cool that it exists. Green traffic light chime, so if the traffic lights turn green, it'll pling at you. That's very nice to have. And speed limit zone chime if you want that. Let's move to locks. And here you'll also see the keys. The keys that have access to the vehicle. This is my iPhone, and that's the key that I use for my car, and that's the key I recommend that you use for your car as well. You don't need any other key than your phone. But I have two backup keycards. The keycards, I recommend having those, and you can see all the lock settings here. So if you want walk-away lock, unlock on park, hands-free trunk, which means that you can stand behind the car with your phone, and if you have an iPhone 11 or newer, this will unlock the trunk for you, which is very nice. It uses the ultra wideband to do that. Auto turn signals, auto cancel. This is under the lights menu. Here you can set the headlights manually and stuff like that. And here are the accent lights, which are used to actually just change the accent light that's all around the car. I tried to park in the semi-shadow to show you the beautiful ambient lighting. This looks absolutely phenomenal at night, but it looks nice now as well. It's fairly bright. Should be a little bit brighter, but fairly bright. And as I showed you before, you can just set whichever color you prefer to have here, and you will get it on the entire around the car and the back seats as well. Display, here you can choose all the settings with this display and the rear display. You can lock the rear display to avoid kids messing with it. You can enable screen clean mode, which disables all the functions, so we can clean the screen, which I tried to do before this video. You can choose the languages that you prefer, and the text size, large text size if you have a little bit reduced eyesight, for example. Time, energy display, distance, temperature, and tire pressure units here. Trips, here you can reset your trip meter, and you will also be able to see the trip meter here if you swipe. There are three things that are always able to be visible here. You have the music, you have the trip meter, and you have the tire pressure. So here you can see a mirror of the trips here. So if you reset trip A, for example, I can do that now, reset, it'll reset here as well, and you can track your efficiency, kilowatt hours used, and kilometers driven. Very nice, and of course that's available in all cars. And navigation, here are the navigation settings that I talked about. You can, for example, have a speed camera chime, which is very nice. That's dependent on your area as well. Schedule, here you can schedule preconditioning, which is the cabin and battery preconditioning for driving. So you warm the battery in the winter, for example, and you can set the charge schedule to charge at cheaper rates at night. Very nice to see. Safety, sentry mode. Always recommend having sentry mode in areas where sketchy areas, because then you have proof on video if something happens with your car. Aside from that, there are a few different safety options. Blind spot collision warning chime, blind spot warning light, so that's a little light beside the mirror, for example. And you can set the speed limit on the car, and you can also set parental controls for the car here at the safety screen. And parental controls gives you different kinds of alerts depending on what happens to the vehicle. Service, here you can see the tire pressure as well. You can also see the tire pressure here, so that's a mirror of this one. Here you can also enable car wash mode, but I already showed you that in the controls section. And there are lots of different things here. I think I'll want to highlight that wheel and tire is important to set if you change to winter wheels. And it'll keep a track of how long you are driven on the different type of tires, so you can know when it's time to change them out or take a look at them or stuff like that. Tire service, really. And camera calibration, and a few different things here. Software is where you see all the information about the car. You can see we have a permanent magnet motor in the rear and the bass sound system. This is where you find out if you have like a long range or if you have a different type of battery. We have LFP battery, for example. Everything is available here, and it's also here where you name your vehicle. And I think I'll name my vehicle right here, right now, to Jarvis 2. And of course Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and upgrades, for example premium connectivity, which I do recommend to actually get on the Tesla. It gives you navigation with with traffic data and some visualizations and satellite view and stuff like that on the map. So let's move on from the screen. I forgot to mention that the bar down here you can customize and place stuff exactly where you want. So if you want the front defrost here, for example, or if you want the heated steering wheel there, and yeah, you can just move stuff exactly where you want, the wiper settings and the climate and stuff like that on this bar here. And you can move the apps as well, if you want them there or if you don't want them there. Steering wheel, no stalks, so the blinkers are on the steering wheel. It is as simple as clicking the direction you want to go. This is a problem when the steering wheel is upside down and I want to blink out of a roundabout. But that's how you do it on the new Tesla Model 3. You have your high beams. This is your high beams, and you blink by doing this, and you can activate them if you have hold it down. You can activate your high beams. This little symbol means that you get a menu when you hold in this button, and this menu gives you access to temperature, fan speed, brightness, save dash cam, acceleration mode, that's the chill standard that we talked about, steering wheel heat, defrost, dome lights, open glow box, and yeah, you can also customize what's the first thing that comes up here. Anyways, that's a great little shortcut to have from the steering wheel. So you can actually adjust the climate from the steering wheel, and if you know how to do it, you can do it without actually looking at the screen as well, which is very nice as a safety feature. Here is a button for camera. This will bring up the cameras, very nice addition, very nice when parking. Here you can see a cruise control symbol, and that's just pressing this button once. And if you want to use autopilot, it twice. But if you have autopilot set to 1 click, you will just activate autopilot with 1 click and you won't have access to adaptive cruise control. Keep that in mind. Windshield washer, here, this will wipe once and give you the menu here, which you can adjust with this button after you activate them. So you can adjust this menu from the steering wheel. You don't need to click the screen. And here you have voice commands. So you just click this one, open Frunk, and it'll open the Frunk. And now I need to go out and close it, because this one is just automatic open, not automatic close. I think that's just a good reason to go out and check out the Frunk. I'm kinda tired of sitting inside the car in this beautiful weather. The trunk is quite large. Much larger than competitors and much larger than most other sedans in the mid-size segment. So I also have a Joa mat here, which I do recommend. Anyways, not much in here, no drain plug, so no ice inside here. And you also have this tow hook, which you can remove in here. This Joa mat just fits perfectly. The window washer fluid is now moved here. It was there before, so it's much better placed right here. These are some pedestrian safety stuff which will activate if you crash into a pedestrian. It'll push the bonnet up and allegedly save the pedestrian that you just ran over. And it's on both sides. You close this one by pressing down. It is quite easy to close, but you will get fingerprints on the car. Here are the wheels, and these are Bridgestone tires on 18-inch aero wheels. So Tesla comes with 18 or 19-inch wheels on the long range or rear-wheel drive Tesla Model 3. These tires kind of suck. They are like some efficiency tires, so the car is efficient, but the handling and stuff like that kind of sucks with these Bridgestone tires. Anyways, you can remove this and you'll get a much better looking wheel, and you can get like inserts here to make it more beautiful. I have Rally Armor mud flaps, so these are not the ones that are included with the Tesla Model 3, so that's important to note. But I do recommend actually upgrading your mud flaps or mud guards to Rally Armor ones or similar. And I also have that on the rear. Here are the new headlights, which are absolutely stunning. So the lower part is daytime running lights, and the ones above is normal headlights. That's also where the high beams are. The front design is updated, so you get a more aerodynamic shape, and you get these beautiful body shapes all along the car, and you can see that it extends across body panels and stuff, so it looks very, very nice. Cameras everywhere, but that's just usual Tesla stuff. The center console is also redesigned, so we have this front compartment, so you have a lot of space here, and I bought some Jowa inserts, which I do recommend to buy to get a little bit more usable space here. Anyways, it is very deep, a lot of space here. I have a Jowa adapter here, which plugs into the 12 volt here to give me additional USB ports, and I love this thing. It is fantastic, because you just have one USB-C port in the front now, and one 12 volt outlet. It is actually reduced from before. So this is an awesome thing to have, and it fits perfectly. If you don't have this one, this sliding cover will go to this area. You have two cup holders with beautiful inserts here, which will hold all drinks safe if they can fit. And you can hide those as well, so you get a super clean middle console, which is super nice. This armrest goes up, and you can get a lot of space inside here. So much space inside here. And this one is also bought from Jowa to give me more space. In the front here we have this beautiful little accent piece. It feels pretty nice. It doesn't feel super premium. It doesn't feel like super cheap. Aside from that, the interior is still no hard plastics, just leather materials all over, including here. This is not hard plastics. This is not hard plastics. This is not hard plastics. This is even not hard plastics. It's just fake leather everywhere. This is super nice. And when we are talking about the door card here, we have the window switches, which are 4 of. So even automakers that are trying to reduce everything still has 4 switches for the windows. So I see some automakers have reduced them to 2. I think Volvo EX90 and EX30 and Volkswagen and maybe other brands have reduced this to 2 switches, which absolutely suck. You need 4 switches, and Tesla does it right here. Even though they try to reduce every component in the car, they still have 4 window switches. I think a good thing to say is that if Tesla has it, I need to have it as well, because Tesla removes everything that is unnecessary from the car, and even more than the stuff that's unnecessary in my opinion. And here is the emergency release. This will open the car even if you have power or not. The reason why this one is different from the other door, this one will request that the window are down before you open. This one will just open the door regardless, but it will still try to lower the window, so it's not really that dangerous to use it. But I do recommend using this one instead. The car also has an interior camera for literally surveillance while you are using the driver assistance features. Another thing that's nice with this camera is that it can be used to look at your dog if you have dog mode enabled inside here. Let's quickly go over the climate menu. So the climate menu, I need to enable the climate to use the climate menu actually. So we can move the stuff around. This is set and forget. I wouldn't do this while driving anyway, so it's fine that it's on the screen. Some people prefer like manual controls. After owning a Tesla for 3 years, I don't mind this. I just set and forget. I'll try to reduce the sound of the climate control. You can set the speed of the fans to low, medium and high. You can turn on auto circulation or not. Heated wipers. Oh, heated wipers. I didn't know this car had heated wipers. It is either heated wipers or heated wiper area. Anyways, doesn't really matter. You can this is also where you activate keep. This will keep the climate on. Dog mode will keep the climate on for an extended period of time, and of course lock the car and stuff like that, and disable the interior alarm. Keep will also disable the interior alarm. Camp mode is if you want to sleep in the car overnight, and In winter it might use 10% battery to sleep overnight, in summer it might use 4 or 5%, so it's a perfect camping car in my opinion. You can also schedule the climate from here, but we already went through that in the settings. You can also adjust the rear controls, and you can actually point the air in the rear from the screen in the front, which is pretty awesome. Here are the redundant controls for gearing. These ones will become visible once the screen is black, which is nice. And you also have dome lights here, which you can activate by touching. And they are really responsive and great, and good light, very good light, better than before. And you have the hazard switch here as well. I almost forgot to mention that this one has dual pane windows in the front and the rear, which gives excellent noise performance. Here you can see the beautiful seats. They are fantastic in the front, even better than in the rear, of course, like always. And these seats are just super plush, both in the white and the black interior. They are a little bit different in the white. I feel like they're a little bit more plush, but maybe that's just placebo. I have of course tried every configuration, but they feel fantastic, and the seat ventilation is just amazing to have. It's not super strong, and it follows the temperature of the climate system, so it's not cooled seats, it's actually ventilated seats, which means that it just passes the climate through the seats, and they are of course heated as well. And you have the normal controls for the seat, so front, rear, up, down, and you can move the back as well, and you have lumbar support on the driver's side but not on the passenger side. Fantastic seats, some of the best seats that I've ever tried. I think the Tesla Model 3 Performance has better seats, but this one is a very close second. Awesome side bolstering, which we didn't have before, and the combination of cooled and just the fitment for me is just awesome. They are a little bit wide for me, I would say, if there is something to critique at all, but that doesn't really matter. So if you are larger than me, you will fit perfectly in these seats as well. It is not a tight fitment at all. Definitely made for Americans as well. Thank you so much for watching my full in-depth tour of the Tesla Model 3 Highland. This specific one is the rear-wheel drive variant. If you want to buy a Tesla, make sure to use someone's referral link. You can use my referral link, but you can also use friends and family's referral link. But please make sure to use someone's referral link. It is $1,000, 1,000 euros, or 11,500 Norwegian kroners of free money that you get off the Tesla if you use someone's referral link. I have linked mine down below, but feel free to use friends and families if they already own Teslas before you use mine. Thank you so much for watching, and I have some super exciting projects coming up that I can't wait to share with you. And it will be something super fun, and what should I say? It is abroad, not in Norway. I can say that much. Thank you again for watching, and I hope to see you in another video very, very soon.